York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
Yes, here we go once again. What's going on? It's JLS from Knick Of Time Show, here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time, and it's time to talk about a Knicks win because the Knicks beat the Clippers and their super team 111-97. RJ Barrett, the Bodman, comes back after knee soreness and missing 2 games and gives you 26 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, and a perfect 6 from 6 from the free throw line. Julius Randle, after having an abysmal showing on ESPN, gives you 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. Mitchell Robinson, the most underrated Knick, in my opinion, on this squad, gives you 13 points, 15 rebounds, 9 of those offensive, and 4 steals. Let's go, Mitch. And the others on the team. Josh Hart gives you 10 points and 7 assists. Dante DiVincenzo gives you 12 points and 6 rebounds, and quickly gives you a very sufficient 7 points and 5 rebounds. And the Knicks did a good job. They actually shot like an NBA team from 3, gave you 38% from 3-point line, shot 46% from the field, and we finally got a win. And we're gonna talk about it all, man. Let's get it, man. How you feeling, Lee? How you doing, man?
Back from COVID, back from some family illness, back in the spot, back in the bodega, back in the hood. Glad to be talking Knicks with you, brother. Yeah, man, this is a game that we've been waiting for. I think it's been so miserable to start the season. Like Jay Ellis and I have been arguing about my minutia in our text thread, man. It's been like, we're desperate for a win, man. And we got the win that we needed because it was led by RJ Barrett with an all-star performance. And it was led by Julius Randle with a very efficient game with quick, ready-made reads, really quick decision-making, crisp passing, overall solid leadership, diving after loose balls, playing good defense, getting back on defense in a timely manner, not jogging and let guys blow by him at the traffic cone that like we saw in past games. I was really happy. It wasn't a perfect game. Still saw some inconsistencies from Jalen Brunson. Still saw like a lack of shooting from Josh Hart, and really a very bad passive game from Quentin Grimes on the offensive end. But there were so many beautiful positives. That's what I'm focusing on. And I'll tell you what, man, this season, I'm going to war for Julius Randle, bro. Like, I'm not gonna kill myself in a 24/7 full-time job, but I did Melo like for 5 years, 6 years of Melo. Every day I was defending him to the death. I'm not gonna go that far, but I just feel like this team can survive with Julius Randle as the third option. And RJ Barrett can surpass him as that second option, and Randle can slot into the third. Yo, man, the sky's the limit for this team. And I think we don't need a superstar at that point. We just maybe 1 or 2 more pieces to even out the roster. And tonight, Randle showed you what a third option Randle can be, and RJ was unbelievable as a point of attack. All we need is Brunson to get back to cooking. And, bro, the mid-3 is the mid-3. Let's go!
The mid-3! Get that shirt printed up. Let's get it. Man, I'm gonna start out with Randle, right? I'm gonna start out with a 27 point, 10 rebound, 3 assists. Julius Randle. And I already said this before in the last stream. I'm gonna say it right now. For the fans who are frustrated with Julius Randle, I do not blame you. We all have PTSD from Randle a few years ago, And to be honest with you, I said this before the stream kind of cut out. When me and Ebony were doing the post game last time, we were talking about Randle's decision making and la. But there's a clip that's going around on the ESPN social media that's showing Julius Randle barking or being distraught and being mad at Jalen Brunson for not passing him a ball after he's been playing like cheeks the entire game, and Brunson was scoring 45. And it led to him not rushing back on defense and being very lackadaisical with the game on the line in the fourth quarter. And I get upset about missed shots, and I bang my head when the decision making is not optimal. But to me, when I read selfishness, that's when I really are pissed off what he brings. And I feel like he knew he messed that up, because when ESPN gets a hold of it, when Kendrick Perkins is calling you out on national television, that has to trickle down to your front door. And he responded today, and I hope that continues. He responded today for sure with 27 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. And listen, the decision making was there. He overpassed even a little bit in the first quarter, but he passed the ball. He hit open threes. He rebounded better. Wish defensively, I wish he had multiple efforts defensively. Like, I feel like when he doubles, he doesn't run back to the corner to cover the 3-point line. But overall, the process in which he played with is so much better than what we see than the last few games. And so I applaud him for doing that. But we need to keep that up. We cannot have a restart. We cannot have a setback of the old Julius Randle. Be like water, like your boy Bruce Lee said. Bruce Wayne. But yeah, but good game for Julius Randle overall. And he wasn't even the highlight for me. He was He was the story for me, but he wasn't the highlight for me. Yeah, the highlight for me. It was. Oh, go ahead, Lee.
No, I was gonna agree with you, man. I saw this moment. I think it was in the third quarter. Randall and Tibbs were on the sidelines, and I was at a Twin Peaks, so it was very loud. Couldn't hear the audio. I was with my pops watching the game, and I saw Tibbs' mouth trust the pass. And I was like, man, I think throughout the game, that messaging is starting to become clear to Randall. And you're right. It's different when ESPN's roasting you and calling you a bum compared to me on Twitter or someone else calling you a bum. Like that stuff I think he doesn't take as serious to where he actually changed his attitude and his performance. But when you hear him from ESPN, fellow colleagues, former NBA players, and the mainstream media, I think the message was heard loud and clear, and you started seeing him play differently. He was actually looking to involve his teammates, and he avoided isolation unless he had the mismatch or he caught the ball on a low block. Then he would turn around and make a move. But he didn't have any of those like high post or left corner where he just hit someone off the dribble. Yeah. He was really focusing on quick decision-making and crisp passes. And to tell you, he reminds me so much of Chris Webber, man. When Webber would catch the ball and he would overthink the shot, he usually bricked it. But when Webber caught it and he would make an immediate move, either find the pass or the cutter, or he would pull up for a J or pull up from three or pull up from on the post, he was automatic and unstoppable. And Randall reminds me so much of Webber, not as good as Webber, but it's very similar games, similar builds, and similar skill sets. Although I think Webber's a better player overall.
Yeah, I remember people arguing about that statement last season. And also, man, look, the pass to Mitchell Robinson, obviously, there's been a memo sent out to pass the ball to Mitchell Robinson because the team has taken notice, and I feel like there's been a few more Mitch passes than usual this game. And Randall had a really nice pick and roll pass to Mitch. I don't really think I've seen a pick and roll game between Julius Randle and Mitch like that. So that lob to Mitch was a very welcome sight. I would love to see more of that because Randall is a good passer, better than average at the power forward position. So I would like to see them take advantage of that even more. And I really like that pass for sure. You got to keep that up. We got to keep that mojo going for sure. And also, we got to keep the bottom man mojo going.
Let's go.
I am so proud, man. I'm so proud, guys. You don't understand how proud I am because my favorite players on this team have been like Brunson and IQ, really. Like Brunson and IQ have been my favorite players on this team last season. RJ is the guy who I love his character and I love his makeup. But when I talked about RJ's game, it was always like in the future. It was like, man, if you can do this, man, if you can just do, if you can. It's like I wanted it for him, but it never really got there. And this season, it feels like it got there, and the process is there, and the passing is there. There was one pass that I loved where he went to the paint, and he had the presence of mind to kind of stop a beat and give like and drop off like over the head pass to Hartenstein for a dunk. Like those are the type of passes you wasn't really seeing from RJ last year, where it looks like the game is just slowing down, and he's able to just process the game so much faster than he was last year. And on top of that, hit from the 3-point line. He's our best. He's been our best 3-point shooter this season.
Yeah, he has.
Who would have thought? When Julius Randle was saying, "Man, we needed spacing. It's kind of crowded there." What he's really saying is, we need RJ back because he's our spacing. All right.
Who would have thought that would have happened?
Who would have thought? 50% from the field, 204, 26 points, and been pretty lethal in the mid range. I was looking at his cleaning the glass stats today. 43% overall from three from RJ Barrett for the season, and is in this shooting 40% from the mid range. That's the 60th percentile, which is not elite, but it's the first time that he's been a little bit better than average his entire career. This is the first, so it's good. This is a really good sign, and it's turned into winning.
I was wrong about RJ Barrett. I said in the other stream before it ended, I want to say it again. I never thought RJ Barrett was a bum. I mean, you can attest to this. I'm not on record saying that he's a bad player or he shouldn't have been a lottery pick. I just had higher expectations. I thought the first couple of seasons, 1 through 3, where he is now, where he would have gotten there sooner. And I thought that what we saw last year was a ceiling, which is like 19 points a game, 4 and 4, with not very efficient shooting splits. He is surpassing those expectations. And I said then, and I'll say it now, I am happy to be wrong. Because if RJ fulfills his promise as a two-way player, this team has a very, very high ceiling without making a major move for a superstar level player like Embiid or Leonard or Kevin Durant level guy. Like if RJ Barrett can be an all-star level player, damn, man, this team is on a whole nother level because his defensive acumen, when he's engaged and locked in, combined with his elite ability to get to the hoop and finish around the hoop, draw fouls around the hoop, and hit his free throws, man, there's not many teams that can beat us in the Eastern Conference come playoff time. And that is a very scary and very beautiful place to be.
Yeah, I still remember the conversation we had last year, Leah. It was like, if Julius Randle is last year's Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson is last year's Jalen Brunson, and RJ Barrett ascends to the level that he is playing at right now, this is a totally different team. This is Eastern Conference type scary finals. This is that type of team. I still feel like we still need like that wing defender and a little depth at power forward, but this is the base for a really scarily dangerous team. And I know people were afraid of the start. I know we're like a game under 500, but if you put the hysteria aside and think, we were in every game. We were pretty much in every game. The Celtics game we lost by like a 1. The Cavs was a back-to-back. And then we hung with the Bucks. Everybody loved the Bucks. Everybody wants to say the Bucks is going to be in the finals. We were right there with the Bucks without RJ Barrett, with Julius Randle playing like absolute dog cheeks. So if you really look back and think and kind of like just pull back from the hysteria, like we can be in a good place because this is the toughest part of the schedule for us. One of the toughest parts of the schedule for us for the year. And the Clippers is one of those games where people were like, here's another tough game. Here's another tough game. And we won that game. Okay? We beat the super team.
So beautiful.
We beat the super team. All right? Not only did we beat the super team, we beat the super team led by the second unit in RJ Barrett. The second unit in RJ Barrett. Well, you saw Ellie, right?
You know what makes it so beautiful to me, who, I've been a Knicks fan for just a little bit over 20 years. I think anyone under the boomer age, like my pops, he saw Clyde Frazier, he saw Willis Reed, Bill Bradley, Cassie Russell. Like for me, I haven't seen someone who was drafted by the Knicks, cultivated, invested in, re-signed, and then grow into the player that we thought he would do at where he was drafted. Really not since Patrick Ewing. have we had someone where he stayed the majority of his career, entered his prime, and played his prime in New York City. That's really the only one. Everyone else is either a free agent or a trade to bring him in here. Like RJ has a potential to be, memorialized in MSG and the minds and hearts of Knick fans because of how he came to his team. And no one will ever forget when he said, "I'm a Knick," when he was at that press table, him and his pops, him and Rowan crying, hugging, so happy, wanting to only be picked by the New York Knicks and now to become fully realized in the orange and blue under Tibbs with this team and being maybe our most dominant player this season, along with Mitchell Robinson, is a sight to behold. Another guy who was drafted by the Knicks, cultivated, invested in, re-signed, and now we're seeing him reach his prime too. That is something that us as Knicks fans in the last 20 years under Dolan, we are not used to. We're used to these aging, passer prime, bloated stars, guys that come here on bum contracts, getting overpaid, never reaching their potential. Not anymore, man. You say what you want about Leon Rose and Tibbs, they have their faults, but we're actually seeing a homegrown roster and guys building chemistry with each other and bringing the best out of each other. That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. I agree. And hopefully we get to keep some of our homegrown pieces. Like hopefully we do sign IQ and keep him, because I feel like he's another kind of success story that I'll talk about a little bit later. But the fact that we've been missing on these lottery picks for years, and the one that we did actually hit on, Kristaps Porzingis, got injured, was disgruntled, and having to trade him. And now we have RJ Barrett, who's starting to live up to his name, is a huge deal for us because we've been having this conversation. Man, wow, look at all the draft. Look at all the people we're drafting. Oh, this is a good draft. This is a good draft. We draft this guy in the 25th, just in 26th, and we never hit on that top 10 pick yet. We tanked for nothing. That was the conversation. Now it's looking like we missed out on Ja, we missed out on Zion, but RJ Barrett is turning out. So that's huge.
And Jay, if we had Ja or Zion and they had the same issues, if Zion was smashing OnlyFans thoughts in New York City, or Ja was pulling out guns, like we'd be the laughing stock of the league. We'd be bottoming out in the standings. Like RJ is the opposite of that. Like you said, high character, great mental makeup, emotionally cool as a cucumber, goes out there and plays hard and doesn't let one bad game distract him from improving to the next. Like, man, that's a great kind of player to have, man. Pick third, there's no one else I'd rather have at that position.
Absolutely, man. So I'm extremely ecstatic that he's growing his game out to be the guy who can read the defense, start to hit the mid-range off the dribble, go to the rim, set up his teammates. He made a nice little touch pass today. I'm really extremely happy with RJ, and it looks real. It looks extremely real. And I was worried because he's a rhythm guy, so for him to miss 2 games and come back and not miss a beat was a big deal. Because I've seen that happen where he got into rhythm last season, got injured, came back, and looked like a shell of himself. But he did not miss a beat.
True.
Did not miss a beat. Let's talk about Mitchell. I want to talk about the second unit. I want to talk about Mitchell Robinson. I want to talk about those guys as well. But before I do, listen, guys, shout out to the chat, SK, Stanley Novak, Alexander, picks for Timmy, OG over there, big task at hand. Shout out to you guys. If you want to talk, you can head into that Discord. I'm not sure the Discord link is up, but Fritz, can you put the Discord link in the chat? And if you want to talk Knicks basketball with us, hit that Discord link, and we can talk some Knicks basketball. Right.
It's too early for the overreactions. And man, I'm so glad that we had the type of podcast and the type of team unity here where none of us jump out the window in the very beginning. Like, yes, I have said fire Tibbs, 45 games into the season in year 3 of him coaching. But in the first 7 games right now, like everyone will eventually regress or bring up to the mean. Like right now, like the Sacramento Kings, they're not going to stay 2-3. Memphis Grizzlies not going to stay 1-6. The Dallas Mavericks aren't going to stay 6-1. Eventually, these teams will get back to where their average is, and we'll have more parity by the midway point. This Knicks team, we're barely scratching the surface on what they can be and their potential, especially on the defensive end and guarding the perimeter. I think they did a lot better than what it is right now.
I agree. I completely agree. I'm like, guys, I know everybody's saying the sky is falling. If 1 3-game winning streak and we're like in first place, like chill out.
Let's go.
It's not. I'm like, it looks very serious in this sample size in this 1 game, but We have 70 something more games to go. We're It's not time to panic yet. Just you gotta chill out. Just chill out.
Yep. We're 3 games out of the second place in the East.
3.
Like, come on.
And we lost a couple of those games by like a total of 5 points. So we're good. We're good. We're good. But yo, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about Mitch, and I want to talk about the second unit. I'm gonna talk about the second unit first. Second unit, man. Woo! There was a pivotal part of this game that happened, and it was the third quarter leading into the fourth quarter, because the Knicks were kind of gotten into a lead, and James Harden hits a 3. And it was one of those threes where it felt like this could be a momentum swing 3. And then IQ comes right back at the end of the fourth with the second unit and hits like a pull-up 3 to tie the game. And then the fourth quarter on, the unit of IQ, Dante, Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, and Hartenstein played the type of defense that would make Tibbs weep with joy. They were on a string defensively. And not only were they on a string defensively, they were the epitome of sharing the ball. Josh Hart had 7 assists. Okay? 7 assists from Josh Hart. And the thing about that second unit is they've always played well as a unit. They always played well defensively. They didn't always hit shots, though. And today, when they actually started to hit shots and play defense at the same time, you're in trouble. You're in trouble now. You're in trouble when Dante DiVincenzo Double D is hitting threes on your head while blocking shots, while getting these crazy rebounds. You're in trouble when Josh Hart is starting to hit threes. And now you're looking at IQ is like, I don't even have to score. Because IQ was the floor general.
Yeah.
Like, he hardly shot the ball. He shot the ball in big moments and then set up his teammates in other moments. Set up Dante, set up Hartenstein. Like, the second unit was running like a well-oiled machine. And it got so good that they outscored the Clippers bench. Knicks bench outscored the Clippers bench 35-27. But on top of that, when the starters came in, they were outplaying the starters. They was outplaying Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and James Harden. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. Now we got something. Now we got something. That made me proud. Second minute.
100%. And I think a lot of it is knowing when and with whom to pair Josh Hart with. Josh Hart's inconsistency from 3, his ability to like not be able to be relied upon to be a consistent perimeter threat.
Yeah. You
really need to pair him with guys who can both play make and also make up for that on the offensive end. And DiVincenzo is a perfect addition, paired alongside Hartenstein and Emmanuel quickly to be able to balance it out and allow Hart to really play with a small ball power forward position. And with RJ Barrett being able to hit the 3 and get to the line, it spaces things to where Hart is not so much of a 4-on-5 threat on the offensive end. He's actually able to just really crash the boards and look for offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities. Because that was really the struggle, is like, where does Hart fit in? Because Tibbs was playing him a lot with the starters in that series against Miami, and things just went ice cold from the perimeter. Because when his shot is off, it is horrid.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to be able to pair him with guys that have a consistent 3-ball in DiVincenzo and IQ, but also have playmaking ability to where when he does catch it, it's going to be a nice, clean, either dribble handoff or a wide open kick out 3. Like, he's getting really good opportunities. He just needs to hit them. Same thing with Grimes. But I'm loving the addition of DiVincenzo. He does everything above average. Nothing. He's not bad at anything. He brings a really solid skill set to his team and much needed depth and versatility with that second unit. I mean, he's fitting like a glove, and the fact that those Villanova ties probably have a lot to do with that. But I think also he's not a system player. He's plug and play. You put him on San Antonio, you put him in Orlando, you put him in Brooklyn, you put him in Toronto. He's going to be the same impact player no matter where he is, and it's because of his high IQ and versatility.
Yeah. I just wish, the 90s song, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish he was a little bit taller. That's my only thing. But
Who?
even today,
Everybody?
today you didn't feel that. Today you didn't feel that. He got the rebounding. He got the rebounds. And even the way he was playing Paul George one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
and Paul George struggled. Like,
Yes, he did.
There was a couple of little shots where Dante almost blocked it. And I'm looking at this height differential, thinking, oh man, Dante's about to get cooked by Paul George, who's bigger and taller. But he really bothered him defensively. He must have been really watching tape. I think Paul George shot 18% from the field. And a lot of that had to do with the defense. And Dante was on him for a lot of that 18% from the field, at least in the second half. So kudos to Dante.
He played good ball denial, and also Paul George didn't have the ball in his hands. Like James Harden it was a lot of like thin opportunities there for everyone to be able to be on ball and have their usage rates they're used to. So Paul George was playing like fourth option out there and getting the fourth most shots of those star group that they have with their big four. So I think it's made a lot of adjustment on the Clipper side. I don't like the Harden fit for that team at all. If Russ wasn't there, I think it would be possible to work. But man, there's a lot of guys that need the ball in their hands to be efficient, and not a lot of off-ball opportunities or people who are willing to be off-ball on that team.
Yeah. I mean, it's their first game, so it is what it is. But I agree with you. They all going to have to kind of get accustomed to not having the ball in their hands as much. I mean, that's what happens when you have that big three like we do. It takes a minute to find that rhythm. It really
Big
does.
Three. Let's go, big three, baby.
Let's go. Big three like we do. You heard that.
Let's go. It's not that in. No more mid three. We got a big three.
Man, once you take out Paul George and Kawhi, and then it's a big three now, all right? Shoot. Jules did his thing against Kawhi. And I still remember we found out that Randle could guard Kawhi last season. And he brought it this season. He did a good job on Kawhi.
Man, when Randle just gets in the paint and plays that bully ball, bro, I'm like, damn, I love him on the Knicks. It's when he settles for those mid-range, like 3-ball face-up, like pull-up jumpers. I'm like, oh, man. He just like scream at the TV, you know? But, yeah. Hey, he was in his bag tonight.
For real. I mean, we needed it. We needed those shots. And I'm glad he's back on track. We just need him to stay on track. We can't have no relapses. Stay on track, Randle. Stay on track, because you can tell the fan base is still pissed, because every time Randle did something good, nobody said nothing. Everybody's still a little sensitive right now. But you keep doing that. Randle, I'm going to tell you how to get back in Knicks fans' good graces. Give Mitchell Robinson 5 lobs.
Yeah.
If you give Mitchell Robinson 5 lobs a game, Knicks fans will be back. And play defense. Don't do that and not play defense, because we'll still get on. But if you give Mitchell Robinson 5 lobs a game, then you'll be fine. Which brings me to
Alexander spinning and sinning. Alexander, man. Dude always has a one-liner. Zingers. I love it.
That's a fact. Yo, can we talk about the Mitch, man? Can we talk about this monster over here? Look at those arms, man. He says this guy's in the gym. This guy is destroying people. Lost in this struggle start of the season is how well Mitch has started out. Because people were like, oh, he hasn't developed. He's not gotten any better from last year. And he's quietly having his best start of his career. Averaging double reboundings for the first time in his career. Leading the league in offensive rebounds. 4 steals today. This is not the first. I think he had 4 steals. I think this might be the second time he had 4 steals. And then I think he had another 3 steal game. And on top of that, in a league where people are begging for switchable centers who can guard the paint and guard the perimeter, this is the second time in 6 games where I've seen him guard a small forward at the 3-point line and stop him.
Yeah.
First, Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert had him on an island one-on-one. Knicks was like, you got it. Didn't give him any help. Karis LeVert goes by him. Mitch blocks the shot. Second, Mitch versus the Claw, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard tries to score on him. Mitch blocks the shot. This is looking very defensive player of the year-ish to me. Knicks top 3 defense in the league, despite their struggles. Top 3 defense in the league. With this guy anchoring the defense, getting steals, multiple steals a game at center. What center is giving you 4 steals? That's not a center stat. This is Mitchell Robinson has been severely underrated. He really had a really monster game today. Devoured another NBA center.
Lots to say, man. Shout out Ninja P, Scott Perry for finding this gem in the second round and being able to put into the investment in Thibodeau and Leon Rose hiring Tibbs, who's a perfect coach to mold Mitchell Robinson into the centerpiece of your defense and the anchor of your defense, man. Dude's been a beast. I love his mentality too. He's being less childish. We're seeing less of his social media antics, more emphasis on setting hard, solid screens, more emphasis on rolling to the basket and looking for that lob, more emphasis on offensive rebounds, and really not just playing good in some good centers, but playing a solid and aggressive against the mediocre ones too, and really dominate when the opportunity is there, because Zubac is not in the same league. I mean, just solid center. He's above average, but he's not in the same league as Mitchell Robinson. And Mitch ate him for lunch, bro. It was like dominance. Like Mitchell Robinson should be a household name, at least for the mainstream media, because we know these bum ass Kevin O'Connor and they're these Rainer pasty bums working for that website. They ain't really watching the Knicks, man. It's just Knicks for clits. They hear something's going on Twitter, they repost it. They watch the game. They're not watching the game. You can't watch 12 NBA games in one day, bro. It ain't happening. They don't know about Mitchell Robinson by the end of the season. I damn well promise they will know about Mitchell Robinson, because it will be impossible to ignore the impact he's had, both eye test and in the analytics. The dude's impact on the game is bar none. And it's been really great to see him get these lob opportunities from the rest of the team, and not just RJ, to be able to get his points per game average up a little bit too, because the dude deserves it, man. He really does.
For real. He should be averaging 10 points a game. 10 points
Easily.
a game is not really, you know what 10 points a game is, Lee? 5 lobs.
Yeah.
5 lobs. You playing 25 to 30 minutes a game, you can find an opportunity to give my boy Mitch 5 lobs a game. And he works hard for it. He deserves those 5 lobs. It can be 4 lobs in the putback, because it gets the offense rebounds to get the putbacks. So there should be room for 10 points. This should be a double-double season if our guys look for Mitch.
It should be.
And his trainer, listen, his trainer is on Instagram pissed after that Bucks loss.
He should have been.
For sure.
Rightly so.
And I told Lee, I was actually trying to get him on the show, because I posted his stuff I posted the trainer's response on our page like a month ago or 2. And he responded on our page. And I'm trying to get on the show, man, because I feel like there's some misconceptions on what Mitch does because it's not shown. And I really wanted him to talk about it, but I don't know, maybe he's afraid to get Mitch in trouble, which I understand. He doesn't want to cause any ripples. But I wasn't trying to jam him up, but I thought it'd be a real good conversation to have about what his work ethic is like and what he works on and things of that nature, just to clear up some misconceptions.
You know, man, I want to comment on this too, because it has to do with Mitch. It is so badass to have a 2-headed dragon at the center position, bro. Yeah. Listen, as dope as Mitchell Robinson is, this ain't Nerlens Noel's bum ass coming in off the bench. This is Isaiah Hartenstein, baby, the German beast. My man is a dog. He is a dog. And they have different skill sets. Like Mitch's athleticism he might be the most athletic center in the NBA. It's pretty close between him and Rudy Gobert and Jaren Jackson Jr. too. But I might give Mitch the edge in terms of vertical ability. But man, Hartenstein's passing, high IQ, just like his ability to just like score around the rim, that nice little floater that he was showing off in some Cleveland series. Like, man, to have Mitch sit and him come in, there's very little drop off in terms of rim protection, offensive rebounding, and shot blocking. Yeah. And that is awesome to have that level of consistency at the 5 at all times. We got to re-sign iHeart coming this summer.
Yeah. No, I agree. We got 48 minutes of great center work between those two. Yep. And our Harden's been a great addition to us. And I'm glad he turned it around, because I was not feeling him last year.
Bro, none of us were.
Beginning of last year.
None of us were.
Not at all. But he played better. He played a lot better. So it's been great. It's been a great addition. And I also want to give a small shout out to Emmanuel quickly because I feel like he hasn't played a lot of minutes lately because of the matchups. Because the guys on the other end of the floor have been bigger, so Tibbs has been less likely to go with the small matchups. And even though he hasn't gotten the time, he still produced. In 20 minutes, was the highest plus minus on the team in 20 minutes. Plus 22, 7 points, 5 assists on the night. Really good floor game. Extremely good floor game. All right. Alexander says not to take away from Lee's very valid point, but the show description still says Pelicans.
Good catch.
Good catch, guy. Good catch, guy. I can definitely edit that. Thank you, and happy birthday. I see a birthday. See a birthday in the chat.
Yeah, we both said the same thing. Happy birthday, Just Knicks.
Happy birthday to you, Just Knicks. Scorpio gang, stand up. Actually, today is Ryan G's birthday.
Let's go.
Yeah.
He's outside somewhere getting wasted.
Yeah, he's outside celebrating the Knicks win. Shout out to my guy, Ryan G. My birthday is coming up Saturday, so this pod is full of the Scorpio gang. But happy birthday to my guy, Ryan G. And also, you guys, if you want to talk, I saw SK was in the chat earlier. If you want to talk, the Discord link is pinned to the top. If you want to chat and talk Knicks basketball with us, all you gotta do is click that link at the top. The Discord link is back. I saw Craig Ward in here. Craig knows about the Discord link, and it's actually a lot simpler today than it was when we first got it too. It's a lot less complicated. So it's more click and go. Shout out to Discord for upgrading. All right. All right, but shout out to the chat, Alexander. Shout out to SK. Shout out to Just Knicks. Shout out to Picks for Timmy. Fritz Alcindor, the best mod in the game, and everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. Not much else I want to mention. Is it Grimes? It's just Grimes. Jalen Brunson didn't have a tough game today. 2 of 12. Played defense pretty well though. Had 3 steals, but the 4 turnovers weren't good and didn't shoot well. It was impressive that we won this game with how bad he played. That's a great sign. Really great sign. This is the game actually maybe IQ could have stayed in a little bit longer in the fourth quarter actually, because he already had it going. The momentum was going that way. He was being a floor general, but that's nitpicky. We ended up winning the game. And Grimes has to be more aggressive.
Listen, and it's nice that Joyce Randle and RJ Barrett balled out against a team that's pretty damn good. Like, you got 4 Hall of Famers on that squad and maybe the 3rd best coach in the NBA in Ty Lue. Very good coach, very good in-game adjustment coach. And he had nothing. He couldn't stop RJ, couldn't stop Randle. Like, this was a solid win. If Randle would have played this way and RJ would have played this way against the Raptors or against like the Rockets, I would still be happy. But the fact that it was just a Clipper team that was probably a hype with James Harden joining the board and everyone's healthy, everyone's playing the regular minutes and rotation. This is a great win, man. This is a statement win to me, and hopefully a type of win that brings momentum and turn the season around and get us on a little bit of a win streak, man, because we got some fairly easy games coming up. The next 2 are very winnable. And if we can string up 3 in a row before we meet Boston on Monday, bruh, we outside. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm scared of Boston, man. I know Boston has this hard start. I'm not scared of Boston, man. I'm really not scared of Boston. I'm not scared of Boston. And I'm weirdly like the way we played the Bucks. I'm like, I gotta see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes when people get momentum and click in and it's mid-season. We'll see how we look then. But I still like our chances, weirdly.
No one in the East looks terrifying. Like, in terms of playoffs, I'm not scared to face anyone. I know it's very early, but this is also taken into account last year. I'm not scared to face anyone in the East. It's the West where I think the contenders are.
Yeah.
Not in the East.
Yeah, the West. The West is where I'm still very weary of the very long teams. I'm still very wary of those very long teams. So I'm definitely afraid of the West for sure. For sure. All right. But Quentin Grimes, man, need to get more aggressive. More aggressive. Right. And this is listen, you played 4 minutes more than Dante. And Dante got up more shots.
Yeah. Playing scared.
Gotta put him up.
Yeah.
You dare to shoot, gotta put him up. That's all I gotta say. But
Randall was trying to find him.
yeah, he was.
He was trying to get him going.
He was. Randall, actually, there was a few shots where they said Randall was overpassing. I actually liked it because he passed up some shots. A good shot got Grimes a great shot. Grimes missed it early. I get it. But also Grimes got to shoot more. Let's get to the super chat. I've seen the super chat. Super chats are welcomed. Shout out to Alexander who sends a 420 super chat. Pretty funny, always gives you a 420 super chat. Says level-headed Hive. We here, fam. Thank you for supporting our level-headed takes. And cash apps and stuff is also available. Shout out to SK who sent us a cash app. Says $5 for the Knicks win the right way. Appreciate you, SK. We're holding it down on Twitter and YouTube. So shout out to you, SK. All right. Next game we got is the Spurs. Is that at home?
Yes.
We got the Spurs at home Wednesday.
Charlotte up next after that.
Oh, we got Charlotte up next on Sunday. Okay, we can do something. We can do some damage. Maybe we can
3 in a row.
Yeah, we can start to do some damage and pick up some momentum if we do some things right. And then the Celtics, yeah, we can. And then Atlanta's gonna be pissed. We got some winnable games coming up. After that rough stretch, we have some winnable games. A long break between Wednesday and Sunday, but then into a back-to-back though. That's weird, but
and also like you have to admit too, it's been a very tough start of a season scheduling wise. We played some really solid teams. Not like we're dropping games, to a bunch of bum ass rosters. We're playing playoff teams that were in the playoffs last year, and we're losing very close single digit games to them. So there was never a point where I got really scared or thought the season was going to be a wash or it was a return of a 2021, 2022. Like I never had those feelings. Plenty of time in terms of staying around. Wait till Brunson gets cut in two. And then that big three is going to be firing on all cylinders. Shout out Tibbs, man. The Penguins doing the best job he can to keep the ship sailing straight. So I think Tibbs been doing a solid job so far this season. Everyone has their mistakes, but he's keeping them locked in and keeping them motivated on defense, which is what I care the most about.
I agree. It's too early. And listen, we started off so last season too. I think we started out like 3-4 last season, and then we ended up being 4 seed. So you can't get too ahead of yourself with that.
Facts.
All right. And like you said, look, lost to the Celtics by 4. Oh, not a big deal. Lost to the Bucks by 5. We had some close losses. Lost to the Cavs by 6. We're in a lot of these games. We're in a lot of these games. In the tough schedule, in the toughest part of the season. But we'll be back.
That's a Tibbs team. A Fizdo team is blown up by 20. A Tibbs team, if they lose, it's going to be in single digits.
Exactly.
They don't play the rest off.
And then you'll have that one shot of Fizdale smiling, and then you see the score under him. He's like, giving people high fives. Yeah. Being pissed.
We don't get you right. Yeah, right to the end of the bench, bro.
Right, exactly. You're right at the unemployment line, really. But man.
Oh, Fizz. Catching strays.
Yeah,
Much deserved strays.
Still cushy job in Phoenix. Shout out to you. All right.
Yeah.
That is that show. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday. All right. So I really want to see Mitch versus Wembanyama. That's gonna be interesting.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be really interesting to see if they're gonna try to throw the lobs from like the foul line, and that's gonna be crazy.
And Keldon Johnson versus Randall is gonna be a great matchup too at the 4.
Yeah.
It's a great matchup.
Yeah, Keldon Johnson was kind of killing us last season too. So.
Bro, he's balling right now. He's a solid player.
Yeah, Keldon
yeah, squad over there, San Antonio. Yeah. Again.
We'll see how that goes. Hopefully we get that win. All right. But that's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know if you have any bruh picks or anything, Lee. We just wrap it up.
No, man, I got nothing to be mad about right now, It's all good, man. I'm not gonna hate on nobody. I'm not gonna call no one a bum, It's all good, man. You and I getting along in the chat, didn't have anything to argue about.
Nope.
It's a good W, baby. Let's just relish the win. Let's keep those positive vibes going.
Let's keep it going. Dubs all around. All right, cool. Let's try to wrap it up. That is our show. I see you. Thank you, Corey Lee and Samir Sariana. Shout out to you guys. That is our show, guys. Thank you guys for watching and enjoying us. We are out of here. And guess what? As always,
Shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
the mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's our show. We out this mug.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.